Have you ever wondered why app attribution is so much different than it is on web? If you would like to know, then this video is for you. So basically, to start this off, we first need at least to start with the obvious part, which is that you more or less always rely on another provider giving you data. In this case, it's not only between the marketing provider and your website, so meaning your domain. It's more between the marketing provider, the App Store or the Google Play Store, and your app, which is of course like one additional party involved, meaning whatever you do when you do install acquisition, you always need to rely on the Google Play Store or the App Store to forward information back to your app. And that's already a huge difference, because while you can directly exchange information with a click from the platforms between you and the marketing provider on the web, you depend on this information to be forwarded. And of course, this can be done with deep links or so-called deferred deep links, but deep links in general have a product purpose. So meaning you can abuse them for attribution in a sense, or like sort of, but deep links are meant for, like, for example, you have sign up for a specific program, and then you would create a deep link that after the install redirects you to the specific program's page. But that's like another story and different content. And if you would like to see more of this, then just write it down in the comment, and I will see if I can create something about deep links if you would like to know more. But so what the industry nowadays relies on is that you have a so-called IDFA for App Store, for the App Store, or Google Advertising ID. In both cases, its ID for advertising is IDFA, and the Google Advertising ID is the GAID. You can just say, like, this is a common identifier that every app has to identify specifically you. So an advertising ID is an ID that is shared among all apps that you have installed on your device. In this case, let's say we have 123 as you as an ID, and this is shared between Facebook, but also between your app. So meaning, you can already see like how powerful this is, because now you can accurately connect attribution touchpoints. So Facebook would know that ID 123 has clicked on an ad, and if you send a signal that someone has purchased, like the ID 123 to Facebook, Facebook would be able to say, like, this specific person has clicked on the ad and also purchased. So the attribution works perfectly fine. And of course, Facebook doesn't give you that information directly. So you always need to go through approved vendors, which are companies like Adjust, AppsFlyer, Kuchava, or a handful of other providers. And of course, like, if that sounds to you like mafia-style structures, then yes, very much sounds like it. But coming back to the IDFA, so what Apple did in one of the iOS updates from 14, that's why I always like people say like Apple update 14 plus is to technically restrict the IDFA from being always available to be shown after a consent prompt. So you would not get the advertising ID unless you have an opt-in from the customer. And this is different to how it works on web. On web, you also, like, many states or many countries have consent banners, but you're not technically limited, meaning that even though you could opt out of Facebook in your consent banner, you would still be able to be tracked, right? So there's no technical restriction. But with the advertising ID, it's just like blank. And that also means that Facebook cannot deterministically match you. So meaning that if you send information now without any advertising ID, Facebook wouldn't be able to see that you have clicked on the ad, therefore then also purchase afterwards. But it also introduced a privacy-centric way to manage attribution from then on. So meaning that if you don't have the IDFA, you have to go to the SK ad network, which is the StoreKit ad network, or how the cool kids call it, the SCAD network. So, and this we will cover in part 2, but in general, there's an important distinction, right? So we are only speaking of marketing attribution. You're still allowed to track, and you still be able to track people in your app, because you wouldn't use the advertising identifier to track people's app usage. You would use something like the device ID or like any locally created ID or user ID, for example, to track people in the app. So if you'd like to see how the SCAD network works, then you have to follow me into the second part of the video, which is, let's say, hopefully uploaded by the time you see this. If not, I will also leave it in the comment so that you can directly follow on. But in any case, if you found something valuable in this video, leave a like. And if you would also like to see more marketing tech and business intelligence related content, then subscribe to the channel, please. And I heard, like, rumor says that this also brings good luck, and it's very much appreciated. So thank you very much, and see you soon.